The big market is actually one of the scenes which is not from the original comic book. It's really a scene that Luc invented totally. And the set, it was covered in sand. So at least that was the one thing that you were like, okay, at least it's sand, it looks like the desert or big market. And then there was a small portion of the wall, and then all around the blue screen, blue everywhere. And inside the big market, when you're actually inside, there was just maybe sometimes some sand and just like poles with dots on it, which were supposed to represent maybe the corner of a shop or a door, you know, so it was just like a lot of imagining all of that together.
Valerian and Laureline, they're on a mission to retrieve something. We have a crazy and hilarious scene where they have to retrieve an object from Igon Cyrus. He's a bad guy. He stole something and they have to take it back now.
Converter in the box.
Copy.
She has an incredible energy, and having to play a character that's always changing, she brings credibility because we've seen her as a singer change from different styles and all that, and in a few minutes, she changes like 8 or 9 times.
It was fun to go from look to look. It was definitely a lot of makeup changes and a lot of hair changes, a lot of wig changes. And I would say that the one that took the longest was probably the Cleopatra look. I loved the nurse outfit. I loved it. That one was a tricky little number because it was all latex. Literally, I had to take breaks to like towel down the sweat out of my costume. It was crazy, but I did lose some weight for the next scene, which was tribal, and my stomach was all out, and that was fun. That was just a lot of
Show me your position when you're down, yeah.
Luc's idea for the pearls was to create these creatures of almost a transcendent beauty. And the beauty of them sort of comes out in their movements, in the gracefulness of their movements. But we also needed to express emotions in a very distinct way. So Luc's idea was to add chromatophores to the skin.
The chromatophores and the pearls are like an emotional sort of additive, I guess, to how they portray themselves. Whether it's like a greeting, whether they touch their forehead, that sort of touch would actually like illuminate their face to help sort of give a sense of happiness or joy.
We've got the Pearl Princess run across into the city, so we're building this huge city at the moment that's built out of shells. So we've got all these shells and we're scanning them at the moment back in Wellington, and then we'll create replicas of the shells in the digital world.
We used a reference for the town on Mule that we took from the town of Santorini, taking a cue from the art department who'd done some original concept of the shell town. So we essentially thought, well, we'll take the same approach. So we photo-modeled some of the village of Santorini with very sort of rough geometry, and then essentially swapped out all the basic blocks that we'd put in, you know, as houses with our shell houses.
In fact, the creative process of Alpha, we divided into multiple sections. We had the interior, we had the cliff of Alpha, and we had the establishing of Alpha. The interior, Luc Besson wanted to get the feeling that there's 2 New York City facing each other with multiple buildings living in their own gravity. That's why we have a lot of building in every direction. For the cliff, Luc Besson wanted to show that there is a lot of spaceship merged together with different styles. And for the establishing, we based our concept on research that had been made earlier on in the art department.
We tried to figure out at what point in time how big it really is. Is it 21 miles or is it like 15 football fields? Because even the script at the beginning told us different things. I don't think we ever figured out how big Alpha is. All we know for sure, it's pretty darn big. And we ended up building, I think, 20, 30 different sections of Alpha that sometimes could connect and sometimes could not connect, depending on what was needed. Then later on, kind of, just fill in the blanks.
This mission is a simple in and out. Agent Valerian, you'll be running solo.
I only work with my partner.
Hi.
We're a team. Let's go.
You're running nearly 20 minutes late.
Yeah, well, time flies when you're having fun.
Welcome to Alpha. The city of 1,000 planets, where for hundreds of years, every species has shared their knowledge and their intelligence with each other. It's paradise.
Amazing.
Because the wind is high, it blows my mind.
After centuries of peace and prosperity, an unknown force wants to destroy all we have created.
Agents Valerian and Laureline, you have less than 10 hours to find the threat and eliminate it.
Let's get to work.
The whole universe is after us.
We need the two of you to be the guardians of our future.
You sure you know what you're doing?
Valerian, trust me.
How much time left?
Your destiny is in your hands.
I taught him how to do that.
Hey movie fans, Vale here with some trivia for you. Did you know that the iconic red stapler coveted by Milton in Office Space was created specifically for the film by the prop department? They needed a bright enough color, thus red was chosen. Upon release, Swingline received thousands of requests for red staplers. Despite discontinuing the color years before, Swingline brought it back due to popular demand, and the red stapler has been its best seller ever since. Now, if you haven't already done it, remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to always receive the latest trailers the moment they are online. See you next time.